The quadratic formula can be used to solve any quadratic equation. As a quick refresher, the standard quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. If we were to solve this in terms of x, it would give us the quadratic formula, which looks like this. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Let's try an example. Say we have x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. If you're new to this, it would be helpful to write out what a, b, and c all equal. A is the coefficient of x squared, and in this case, that's just 1. So we know a is equal to 1. We see b is the coefficient of x, b is equal to 4. And c, in this case, is equal to negative 3, since it's minus 3. Now all we need to do is plug the numbers into the formula. In this case, x is equal to negative b, our b is 4, so negative b looks like negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 4 squared, minus, and since we have a few numbers we'll need to multiply, I'm going to use brackets to keep things easier to follow. We have 4 times a, in this case that's 1, and then times c, which is negative 3. Close the bracket. And all of this goes over 2 times a, which was just 1. Now we just need to solve. So x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times 1 is just 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. So 16 minus negative 12 all over 2 times 1, just 2. So now we have negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus negative 12 is 16 plus 12. That gives us 28 over 2. The square root of 28 can simplify. 28 could be 4 times 7. So therefore, the square root of 28 is equivalent to 2 times the square root of 7. That gives us negative 4 plus or minus 2 square root 7 over 2. And we can further simplify by dividing 2 into each component in the numerator. This is now equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 7. So therefore, x is equal to negative 2 plus square root of 7, or negative 2 minus the square root of 7. So here we have two irrational roots. And keep in mind, it's always a good idea to plug back into the original equation, and also realize there will be problems where only one of the two solutions could work. For instance, if you're dealing with time or distance, and you know the answer must be positive, then you can rule out the negative value. Let's try this example. Negative 4x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. Using our formula, we know x is equal to negative b, so I'll put the negative in front, and our b value is negative 3, so therefore it's a negative 3. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, which would be negative 3 squared, minus, again I'll use brackets to keep everything clear, 4 times a, in this case that's negative 4, times our c value, which is 1. And all of this will go over 2 times our a value, which was negative 4. Negative 3 gives us 3, plus or minus square root of negative 3 squared is 9, minus 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 times 1 is still negative 16. So it's 9 minus negative 16 over 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Now we have 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus a negative is plus 16 gives us 25 over negative 8. This is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 25 is 5, all of it over negative 8. And at this point, we can separate the plus or minus. So we have 3 plus 5 over negative 8, or 3 minus 5 over negative 8. This gives us 8 over negative 8, which equals negative 1, or 3 minus 5 is negative 2 over negative 8, which equals 1/4. So our final answer is x equals negative 1 or 1/4. And in this case, we have two possible rational roots for solutions. Let's try this example. Say we have 8x plus 2x squared equals negative 8. Hopefully you noticed we're not in standard form. So let's fix that. It should be written as 2x squared plus 8x plus 8 equals 0. Now we can clearly see we have our a value here, our b value, as well as our c value. Plugging into our formula, we have negative b, which would be negative 8, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 8 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 8, all over 2 times our a value, which is 2. We'll start simplifying. We have negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared is 64, minus 4 times 2 is 8 times 8 is 64, all over 2 times 2, which is just 4. This is equal to negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 4. So now we have negative 8 plus or minus square root of 0 is just 0, so that doesn't change anything, over 4. This equals negative 8 over 4, and therefore x is equal to negative 2. So here we just have one rational root. Now what if we have 5x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0? We can see we're in standard form and we're set equal to 0, so we just need to plug into the formula. Negative b is negative 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 2 squared, minus 4 times a, 5, times c, 1, all over 2 times a, which is 5. We'll start simplifying. We have negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared is 4, minus 4 times 5 times 1 would just be 20, all over 2 times 5, which is 10. This equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 over 10. Hopefully you've covered what to do when you have a negative inside of a square root, but if not, here's a quick refresher. The square root of negative 16 is equal to the square root of 16 times the square root of negative 1. The square root of negative 1 is equivalent to I, which represents an imaginary number. So therefore, we could rewrite the square root of negative 16 as I times the square root of 16. This now gives us a positive value inside the square root and allows us to take the square root. Therefore, we now have negative 2 plus or minus I times the square root of 16 over 10, which equals negative 2 plus or minus square root of 16 would be 4, and we'll put the number 4 in front of the I here, over 10. We still want to simplify as far as we can. Both the negative 2 and the 4 can reduce with the 10. We'll divide 2 into each of the numbers. That gives us negative 1 plus or minus 2i over 5. But unfortunately, we cannot leave our answer this way because now we're starting to look like a complex number. We'll cover that in another video, but as a quick reference, complex numbers are in the form of a plus bi, where a is the real number and b is the coefficient in front of the imaginary number, the I. In order to make this fraction look like an a plus bi, we just need to split this up. In other words, we could say this is equivalent to negative 1/5 plus or minus 2/5 I, where 2/5 is our b value. And for our final result, we can separate the plus or minus again and say x is equal to negative 1/5 plus 2/5 I, or negative 1/5 minus 2/5 I. And in this case, we have two imaginary roots. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe for more videos.